the number one biggest difference I would say is that I am coaching myself this year, so that is something new. If you guys didn't know, surprise. Which has been awesome so far. It's definitely something that I'm learning, more about myself when I'm doing that. I'm really in tune with my body, and I just feel like I feel a lot less stressed mentally. I feel like I'm in a great spot in terms of physically where I need to be. Comparing to previous preps, I'm definitely in a better spot right now, and I think that just comes down to me working so hard and so diligent in my off season, training hard, training with a personal trainer a few times a week, and just making sure that I've been on top of everything. It just comes down to ticking the boxes off every day and doing what needs to be done. So I've just been taking it one day at a time, doing what I need to do each and every day, and not worrying about what has to come tomorrow or the day after that. So that's kind of my biggest strategy that I focus on. Especially with coaching yourself, you can get inside your head sometimes. So I have a couple people there for a second set of eyes that I really trust and appreciate. So I have a great support team, and I'm excited to do things this year differently, but it feels good so far.
Had to pick 3 supplements right now, what would they be?
It's hard. Probably my top 3 supplements right now, being in prep, Burn HD, number 1. I love that in the mornings before fasting cardio. It gives me good energy, it's a thermogenic, and it does help with cortisol, so that's going to make sure that your cortisol levels are not too high. Really important for fat burning, so Burn HD, probably my top supplement right now. Number 2, probably Vita HD, just because you honestly cannot beat a good multivitamin. It is so much more than just a multivitamin, and especially when dieting, obviously if your food variety is a lot lower than normal, you might not be getting all the micronutrients from your food, so adding in a multivitamin really helps just with your overall energy and well-being. So Vita HD would be number 2. Number 3, I want to say Pre-HD Ultra because I cannot train without pre-workouts, but I also would say Gluta HD because recovery at this point is super important, so I'm going to tie those for number 3.
All right, so what would your kind of number 1 piece of advice be for someone who is kind of so busy and kind of traveling, just got so much on their schedule in terms of staying on track?
I feel like as long as you set a goal, you set up a plan, and you're prepared, that's all you have to worry about. And you just don't have excuses, just get stuff done, schedule in your time, schedule your day so you have time for everything. Treat your cardio, treat your workouts like an appointment or like, it's a client or a job that it's non-negotiable. So when I travel, whether I'm tired and it's at midnight or whether I have to get up at 4 a.m. to do it, my cardio, my training is a non-negotiable. It's something that I have to get done. It's not an optional thing throughout my day. So once you make that promise to yourself that it's not something that you can think about, it's just something that has to be done, you just make it work, you fit it in and get it done whenever you can, whether that's early morning, late nights, throughout the day. There's always time you can find for it. Workouts you can squeeze in 45 to 60 minutes, so just be prepared and set a goal, tackle one thing at a time, and focus on today. Be your best today. Tomorrow you can do that again and worry about that when it comes.
So when you're in prep, kind of, are you a more sweet or a savory person? Kind of, how do you deal with, cravings?
I am definitely a sweet person. I love my sweets. I love my desserts. I have a huge sweet tooth. Chocolate is my favorite. I love cakes, cookies, all that kind of stuff. So for me, it just comes down to being focused on my goals. One of my favorite sweet tooth cravings that I do to curb those cravings, Pro HD. I make protein ice cream with it. Lately, I've been loving the vanilla one, but I was obsessed with the chocolate peanut butter for a little while. So usually I'll just fill half a cup with ice, put almond milk on top, and then a scoop of Pro HD. Blend it. You can add some xanthan gum to thicken it, and it's pretty much like a frostier protein ice cream. So that always does the trick for me. Usually that's my nightcap. But yeah, you just stay focused and find alternatives that are healthy that meet your goals.
The impact you make on people's lives, everyone has their vices on, why they start training or whatever else. And a lot of people are overcoming certain things, but I never imagined being a professional bodybuilder. I just wanted to win titles and be featured in books. And I never imagined people would use me as kind of a role model these days. And that's probably the best gift that's been given to me since I retired is the interaction from people all over the world that still follow my career and what I do on social media, and kind of the consistency I had at the Olympia stage to use as motivation for life in general. So it's pretty awesome. I don't know if it's necessarily weird. I mean, of course, you get your people asking for pictures of your feet and that kind of stuff with the foot fetishes, and
Yeah.
like, you know, I'm sure there's a million things I could think of that just are outrageous, but at the same time, like, everyone has their thing, I guess, right?
Yeah, it's just weird that they would just shoot their shot like that. like Jay Cutler sent an email. I've had some weird emails, seriously. Yeah, and more when I was younger. Now that I'm older and I lost my hair and I'm not as popular with the schmoes. So I don't know why. I mean, they like the younger guys.
You know what's kind of funny? I remember Dave Borley shooting you. You came to California, and I don't know what year this was, but you were doing all the crazy flips and stuff back then.
That was a long time ago.
I told what year was that? I told Dave, I said, this guy needs to be in movies. He needs to pursue movies instead of bodybuilding, you know? And, you know, I've always kind of followed your career since then. And obviously, you know, I'm a huge supporter. Last year, you know, you coming and winning in Las Vegas for the Cal or whatever, which, you know, they had to move it here. You know, that was a huge achievement, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. I was super happy every time you texted me and stuff. I was like, it was like fuel, pure fuel of motivation.
Well, you were pretty upset about the bicep tear. You know, we both tore a bicep before, and I told you it would come back better than ever, right?
Mine's still torn.
Yeah, no, mine's not too bad actually. Like, I don't know if you can see or not, but
Yeah, does it affect your training at all, or?
sometimes the rotation like that, I feel like it's a little bit tight, but no, it's and the training with Mike now is that I don't push the weight. I don't focus on heavy weight. We put weight when needed, but it's all about the movement, and you know, well, you can explain more, but pretty much it's like the last reps I've done, especially the one with the Olympia with Mike training me, is the one I felt the best, and I was the least injured with no pain at all.
Well, you shouldn't be in pain. I can tell you through my career, I never had pain, and I still don't